Okay, I need to tell you something, and honestly, I've been feeling this build-up for days now. Tomorrow isn't just another Thursday, it's not just another full moon phase. Something massive is about to shift, and I really believe most people have no idea what's coming. On Thursday, February 19th, at exactly 2:40 in the afternoon Eastern Time, the moon enters Aries. And I know that might sound like just another astrological transit to some people, but stay with me here, because this is different. This moon is crossing what astrologers call the world axis, the 0-degree point of Aries, and it's triggering something so rare and so powerful that I genuinely think it could change the trajectory of your entire year. Here's what's really getting my attention. This isn't happening in isolation. The moon is walking straight into a conjunction with Saturn and Neptune at the exact same degree. These two massive outer planets have been building toward this moment for months, and tomorrow, the moon flips the switch. It activates everything. And if you've been feeling this strange pressure building, like something is about to break open but you can't quite put your finger on it, there's a very specific reason for that. I'm going to break it down for you in detail, but first, I need you to understand why the timing of this is so critical. Because here's the thing that almost nobody is talking about. We just had a solar eclipse 2 days ago on February 17th. That eclipse cleared the path. It erased the old attachments, severed the ties to outdated visions of your future. And for the past 48 hours, you've probably been swimming in this weird Pisces void, feeling dreamy, confused, maybe even a little lost, right? But tomorrow, when that moon crosses into Aries, everything snaps into focus. The fog lifts, the hesitation dissolves, and what takes its place is this unstoppable surge of courage, clarity, and pure initiating fire. And honestly, I've been feeling the edges of this myself, and it's intense. The last 2 days have been a void. Tomorrow, you wake up. Let's be real about what's been happening since that solar eclipse on Monday. Have you noticed how strange the energy has felt? Like you're walking through water, like time is moving differently. That's not random. That's the Pisces energy doing exactly what it's supposed to do, forcing you to let go, to dissolve, to release. The eclipse at the very end of Aquarius was like hitting a cosmic delete button. Old friendship patterns, stale social groups, outdated dreams about your future. All of it got wiped. And then the moon immediately moved into Pisces, the very last sign of the zodiac, and for 2 full days you've been in this incubation period. Some people have felt exhausted, others have had vivid, confusing dreams. Maybe you felt emotionally overwhelmed for no clear reason. And if that's been you, I really want you to know, you're not broken, you're processing, you're in the void before the breakthrough. Because here's what I think is happening. The universe needed to clear the slate before it could write something new. You had to let go of the old version of yourself, the one who doubted, who hesitated, who played small, before you could step into what's coming tomorrow. And what's coming tomorrow isn't subtle. This is the moment where the emotional body exits the deepest, darkest waters of the zodiac and strikes a match. The moon moves from 29 degrees Pisces, the absolute final degree of the entire wheel, straight into 0 degrees Aries, and that shift, it's instantaneous. Before 2:40 in the afternoon tomorrow, you might still feel lethargic, dreamy, unsure, but the moment that moon crosses into Aries, I believe you're going to feel a surge, like something just clicked into place, like you suddenly remember who you are and what you're here to do. The Aries point isn't just a degree, it's a cosmic broadcast system. Okay, so here's where this gets really interesting, and this was a huge aha moment for me when I started researching this transit. The 0 degree Aries point isn't like other degrees in astrology. It's not just the start of a sign, it's what's called the world axis. This is the exact point where the sun crosses the celestial equator every spring equinox. It's the intersection of the ecliptic and the equator. And in astrological tradition, this point represents the interface between the individual and the collective, between your private inner world and the public outer world. When a planet crosses the Aries point, its energy doesn't stay hidden anymore. It broadcasts outward. It becomes visible, undeniable, public. And tomorrow, it's not just any planet crossing this point. It's the moon, which represents your emotional body, your instincts, your immediate reactions. But here's the part that makes this truly unstoppable. The moon isn't crossing an empty point. It's crossing directly over Saturn and Neptune, which are meeting at this exact same degree for the first time in decades. Think about that for a second. Saturn, the planet of structure, discipline, and manifestation, is sitting right next to Neptune, the planet of dreams, vision, and limitless potential, and they're both waiting at the starting line of the zodiac. And tomorrow, the moon runs through like a lightning bolt and activates them both at once. This is why I keep using the word unstoppable, because when you combine Saturn's discipline with Neptune's vision and fuel it with Aries' pure initiating fire, you get this alchemical blend that eliminates paralysis. The dream is no longer optional. It becomes mandatory. The path forward isn't cloudy, it's crystal clear. You're not going to feel like yourself tomorrow, and that's the point. I want to be really honest with you about what tomorrow might feel like, because I don't think it's going to be gentle. This isn't a soft, flowing transit. This is fire. This is cardinal energy. This is the universe saying, it's time to move, now. Some of you are going to wake up tomorrow with this restless energy under your skin, like you can't sit still, like you need to do something, create something, start something, but you're not even sure what yet. That's the Aries moon activating your instincts before your mind can catch up. Others might feel this sudden clarity about a decision you've been avoiding, something you've been hemming and hawing about for weeks or months. Tomorrow, the answer just arrives. No more debate, no more weighing pros and cons, just knowing. And here's what's really wild. For some people, this is going to manifest as physical sensations. You might feel heat in your body, adrenaline, that pre-action buzz you get right before you do something brave, because that's exactly what this energy is, courage in its purest form. Now, am I saying this is 100% going to happen to everyone? No, I can't say that for certain, but based on the astrology, based on what I've been feeling building, and based on how powerful this configuration is, I really think a lot of us are going to experience this shift in a very tangible way. And if you do feel it, here's what I want you to remember. This isn't mania. This isn't you losing control. This is you finally finding your center of gravity. Because when Saturn and Neptune meet in Aries, what they create is disciplined courage. It's not reckless, it's decisive, it's not impulsive, it's instinctual. Mars in Aquarius is running this show. Here's what that means. So let's talk about the ruler of Aries, because that's going to tell us a lot about the quality of this courage you're about to feel. Mars, the warrior planet, the planet of action and drive, is currently moving through Aquarius, and that completely changes the flavor of this transit. Mars in Aquarius isn't the hot-headed warrior charging into battle without thinking. This is the strategic revolutionary. This is the person who fights for the future, who disrupts systems, who innovates rather than dominates. Does that make sense? So the courage that gets activated tomorrow isn't about mindless aggression or forcing your way through obstacles. I think it's about smart rebellion. It's about having the guts to break free from systems that restrict you. Whether that's a job, a relationship dynamic, a belief system, or even just the way you've been living your life up until now. And here's something really important. Mars in Aquarius is approaching a square to Uranus in Taurus. That aspect becomes exact next week, but it's already building. Uranus is the planet of sudden awakening, shock, and liberation. When Mars squares Uranus, you get this electrically charged lightning strike quality to your actions. What does that mean for you? I think it means the moves you make tomorrow or in the days immediately following are going to surprise people. Maybe they'll even surprise you. You might do something that feels completely out of character, but also somehow exactly right, like a part of you that's been dormant just woke up and took the wheel. And honestly, I think that's beautiful, because sometimes the most authentic version of ourselves is the one that shocks everyone else. Where this will hit you hardest depends on your rising sign. Okay, so I want to get practical for a minute because this transit is going to activate different areas of life depending on your rising sign. And if you don't know your rising sign, it's worth looking up. It's just as important as your sun sign when it comes to transits like this. If you're an Aries rising, this is hitting your first house, your identity, your physical body, your entire sense of self. This is a total relaunch. You're shedding an old skin and stepping into a completely new version of yourself. The unstoppable feeling is literal for you. Cancer rising, this activates your 10th house of career and public reputation. The courage you're accessing is professional. You might step into a leadership role, make a bold career move, or finally claim the authority you've been afraid to own. For Libra rising, this lights up your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. You're finding the courage to set boundaries, to ask for what you need, or maybe even to walk away from dynamics that no longer serve you. Capricorn rising, this is your 4th house, home, family, emotional foundation. The unstoppable energy here is about claiming your space, setting down roots, or breaking free from family expectations that have held you back. If you're Taurus rising, this is happening in your 12th house, which is all about the subconscious and spiritual liberation. Your courage is working behind the scenes, conquering fears you didn't even know you had. Leo rising, this hits your 9th house of beliefs, education and expansion. You're finding the courage to teach, publish, travel, or fight for a philosophy or worldview you believe in. For Scorpio rising, this activates your 6th house of health and daily work. This is about overhauling your routine, your health habits, or your work environment. The unstoppable energy is applied to mastery of your craft. Aquarius rising, this is your 3rd house of communication. You're finding your voice, you're speaking up, you're having the conversations you've been avoiding. Maybe you're writing something, launching a project, or finally saying what needs to be said. Gemini rising, this lights up your 11th house of community and long-term goals. You're stepping into leadership within your friend group or finding a new tribe altogether. The courage is social and collaborative. For Virgo rising, this is your 8th house of transformation, intimacy and shared resources. Deep stuff. You're facing what's hidden, merging your power with another person, or completely transforming how you approach vulnerability. Sagittarius rising, this hits your 5th house of creativity, romance and self-expression. This is about taking risks on joy, on love, on your own creative fire. This is courage to be seen. And Pisces rising, this activates your 2nd house of money and self-worth. You're finding the courage to value yourself properly, to ask for what you're worth, to restructure your relationship with resources and abundance. Wherever this is hitting you, the theme is the same. Something that felt impossible yesterday is going to feel inevitable tomorrow. And honestly, I think that shift is going to be unmistakable. The danger nobody's talking about, false courage versus true discipline. Okay, I need to be real with you about something because there's a shadow side to this energy that I think is really important to acknowledge. With Neptune involved, there's always a risk of delusion. There's always a risk of confusing inspiration with intoxication. What do I mean by that? Neptune can make us feel invincible when we're actually just caught up in the fantasy of change. It can make us think we're unstoppable when really we're just avoiding the actual work that needs to be done. So here's the distinction I want you to hold on to. True unstoppable energy isn't a flash flood. It's not this explosive burst that burns out in a week. True unstoppable energy is more like a glacier. It's slow, steady, and it reshapes entire continents over time. Saturn's presence in this configuration is what saves us from the Neptune delusion. Saturn says, yes, dream big, but also do the work. Yes, envision the impossible, but also build it brick by brick. Does that make sense? So if you're feeling this surge tomorrow, I want you to ask yourself, is this manic energy or is this aligned action? Is this me running away from something uncomfortable? Or is this me running towards something true? Because the real power of this transit isn't in the spark, it's in the sustained burn that comes after. It's in choosing to show up day after day, to build the dream with discipline, to let the vision guide you, but the structure support you. And honestly, that's the difference between people who use this energy to completely transform their lives and people who just get caught up in the hype and then crash 2 weeks later. If you want to harness this, here's what you actually do. All right, let's get even more practical, because knowing about this energy is one thing, actively working with it is another. And I really believe that if you're intentional tomorrow, you can anchor this courage in a way that lasts. First, pay attention to the exact time, 2:40 in the afternoon Eastern Time on Thursday, February 19th. If you can, create some space around that time, even just 5 minutes. Light a candle if that feels right to you. Red, if you have one, that's the color of Mars and Aries. Here's what I'm planning to do, and you can adapt this however feels authentic to you. I'm going to write down the one fear that the solar eclipse revealed to me over the past 2 days. Just one. The big one. The one that's been holding me back. And then I'm going to burn that paper safely and say out loud, the obstacle is dissolved. The path is solid. I walk it now. Why those words? Because they capture the entire energy of this transit. Neptune dissolves the obstacle. Saturn makes the path solid. Aries walks it immediately. Another thing you can do, and this might sound weird, but hear me out, is engage your body. This is fire energy. This is muscle, heat, action. So do something physically intense tomorrow. Go for a run. Do a hard workout. Move the energy through your system. And then immediately follow it with water, a cold shower, a bath, whatever feels right. This is the tempering process. You heat the iron, then you cool it in water, and what you get is steel. And finally, and this is the most important part, make one decision tomorrow, just one, something you've been putting off, something you've been afraid of, something that requires courage. It doesn't have to be huge, it just has to be real. Because when you take action while this energy is active, you're literally programming your nervous system with a new baseline of bravery. What happens after tomorrow? The ripple effect. Here's what I think a lot of people don't realize about transits like this. The moment of exactitude is just the beginning. Yes, tomorrow is when the moon crosses that Aries point and lights the fuse. But the explosion that follows? That unfolds over days, weeks, even months. On Friday, February 20th, Saturn and Neptune reach their exact conjunction. That's when the wave peaks. That's when the dream and the structure fully merge. And then throughout the following weeks, you're going to see the effects of whatever got set in motion tomorrow. Some people are going to experience sudden opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere. Others are going to have those aha moments where suddenly the path forward is so obvious they can't believe they didn't see it before. And for some, it's going to be more subtle, just this quiet, growing sense of confidence and clarity that builds day by day. But here's the thing I really want you to understand. The universe is giving you an opening tomorrow. It's creating a vacuum of opportunity, post-eclipse, and filling it with pure initiating fire. But you have to meet it halfway. You have to say yes. You have to take the step. Because the energy will move on. The moon will keep moving through Aries and into Taurus. Life will continue. And if you let this moment pass without claiming it, you might find yourself 6 months from now wondering why nothing changed. And I don't want that for you. I really don't. Because I genuinely believe this is one of those pivot points where everything can shift if you're willing to trust what you're feeling and act on it. You're not alone in this. We're all feeling it. You know what's been really fascinating to me over the past few days? The number of people who have been reaching out, messaging me, commenting, saying they feel something building but they can't explain what it is. And every time I hear that, I just think, yeah, that's the energy, that's the anticipation, that's your soul recognizing that something big is about to happen. We're all in this together. All of us who are tuned in, who are paying attention, who are willing to evolve, we're all standing at the same threshold right now. And tomorrow, when that moon crosses into Aries, we're all going to feel that shift in our own unique ways. Some of us are going to feel it as excitement, others might feel it as nervousness or even fear, because courage isn't the absence of fear, right? It's the willingness to move forward despite it. And that's what tomorrow is asking of us, to move forward anyway. I've been thinking a lot about what unstoppable really means, and I don't think it means you never face obstacles. I don't think it means everything suddenly becomes easy. I think it means that no matter what shows up, you keep going. You trust yourself. You trust the process. You trust that the vision in your heart is there for a reason and that you have everything you need to build it. And honestly, after everything we've all been through, individually and collectively, I think we're ready for this. I think we've earned this moment of empowerment, this cosmic green light, this permission from the universe to finally step into our power and stop playing small. Tomorrow isn't just another day. It's the day you remember who you are. It's the day the unstoppable version of you wakes up and takes the lead. And I, for one, am really excited to see what we all do with this energy. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you and you want to see more content like this, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Take care of yourself, trust what you're feeling tomorrow, and I'll see you in the next one.